Hey everybody, Stephen Ho here, and I'm joined today with Kyle Kroeker from McGillivray Accounting. He's going to talk to us about a few different tax terms that we encounter in the real estate transaction.
Thank you, Stephen.
Welcome.
The first thing, land transfer tax. So when you purchase a land or a beneficial interest in land, you'll pay a land transfer tax to the province when the transaction actually closes. Land transfer tax is a tiered calculation, but it's approximately 1.5% of the purchase price.
If you're buying in Toronto, it's an additional land transfer tax?
Yeah, it's an additional land transfer tax that's actually paid to the municipality as opposed to the provincial government. And really, it's tied to the 416 area.
So with land transfer tax, when is that due and how do you pay it?
The land transfer tax is applicable on closing. It's settled by the lawyers, so you don't have to calculate the convoluted calculation that does go into your land transfer tax. But essentially, it's based on the value, obviously, of what you paid for the property. Sales tax. HST does not apply to resale homes that are residential complexes for HST purposes. However, there is a 13% sales tax charged on new homes built in Ontario. There is a rebate that you do get from the provincial and the federal government up to $30,000, and this is it begins to be clawed back at $350,000, and the federal portion is fully clawed back for any homes that are over $450,000.
So when you're buying a pre-construction or a new build from the builder, sales tax is already built into the price. But they assume that you are buying it to use for your primary residence. Now, if you're buying it for an investment property, you be subject to paying the tax, or how does that work?
Yeah, the rebate is only available to those that are actually going to dwell in the home, so it would be paid back. Property taxes. So if you own property in Ontario, you need to pay property taxes every year based on the assessed value of your home. This is typically paid in installments over the entire year, and it's based on your property's assessed value. So non-resident speculation tax in the greater Golden Horseshoe area, foreign buyers are subject to a 15% tax when they purchase residential property. If you're planning to apply for residency in Canada, you still are eligible for a rebate. Income taxes. So if you sell your principal residence, you are actually sheltered from the capital gain on that property, provided that it is your principal residence. Just note that if you own more than one property concurrently, you can only designate one property at a time as your principal residence, meaning that you are subject to incurring a capital gain on the appreciated value of the other property when it is eventually sold. If you're primarily renting out your property, you are subject to paying income tax based on the net profit from that rental property annually.
When you sell your principal residence, you're not subject to capital gains tax.
Correct.
So if you have an income property that you're selling, because you are currently living in your primary residence, your income property, when you sell, you're subject to the income tax, right?
You are subject to paying capital gains on the appreciated value of your property when you sell it. So yeah, if it's not your principal residence or you're using it out as an income property or renting it out as an income property, you are subject to capital gains when you eventually do dispose of your income property.
All right, Kyle, thanks for coming in and giving us a lot of insight on the different taxes that is involved with real estate. It's actually quite difficult with all these different taxes. We don't even learn about it in school. So thank you for coming in and explaining some of the basics to us. As always, if you have any questions about real estate or taxes, I'll have both of our contact information below. Feel free to reach out anytime. We'd be sure to help you with any of your questions. Until then, we'll see you next Wednesday.